Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the weekly comic book roundup. We've got a fairly large size haul this week, and in fact, we've got enough AXE Judgment Day books that they had to split into two videos. So first, I'll be covering this week's X-Men related AXE Judgment Day tie-ins, kicking things off with Immortal X-Men number 7. So this issue focuses on Nightcrawler, and it kind of goes throughout the events of Judgment Day, at least so far. With basically all hell breaking loose. It appears to be starting after the crossover, as Sinister's present at the Quiet Council meeting. But he basically teleports Destiny away to, in the hopes of scaring her, so to speak. To say, okay, well, what's gonna, what are you seeing? But basically, everyone has to be pulled together. So Kirk goes to New York and basically we get the moments before Kirk walked up on Cap in AXE number 4, or I guess 5. He finds an Orcus flyer in the protest. Kurt and Cap are killed. Kurt is resurrected. Battle rages on. It seems that Krakoa is going to be destroyed, and so Hope basically asks for volunteers to trick the progenitor into thinking that Krakoa has been wiped out, and, well, yeah, in front of everyone volunteers. But the progenitor seemingly destroys Krakoa, with Mystique and Destiny being among those who stayed. Sinister is trying to, well, use his failsafe plan, but, well, yeah, nothing's working. We get the resurrection of Cap, including, apparently it wasn't just Nightcrawler who took up with the idea, but also Hope. And then a flurry of teleports and attacks on Orcus by Nightcrawler, mainly to kind of bring Orcus, okay, kind of have Orcus, hey, you want to be involved in this? Yeah. If the Earth is destroyed, so are you. So, but it takes about 4 or 5 deaths at the hands of Nimrod before Kurt is able to disable Nimrod. He explains that he doesn't need to hug someone to teleport away something meaningful. Fingertips can be enough, and he seems to take the top section of Nimrod's head, which short circuits it. But he explains his plan to Moira, and, well, yeah, Moira's biggest. It's not a plan that will last. But that is where our issue ends. I am curious as to where Immortal X-Men is going to go direction-wise after this 12th issue, because by that point they've covered all 12 members of the council, unless there are new council members introduced. So we'll see. Anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Legion of X number 6. So issue 5, which ended the first arc, set up the idea that the first arc ends just before Uranos arrives on Arakko. But the big the meat of the issue is really around the Progenitor's judgment of Legion, and this is actually the Legion actually has a conversation with Progenitor, and uses that as a means of telling the tale of what went on. Basically another take of what happened during the Hour of Uranos. Including once again revisiting Iska's betrayal of everything, and apparently Legion was even helping to kind of boost Nightcrawler's powers. But Uranos and Legion, when they came face to face, they talked. Kind of played out every possible scenario the two of them fighting, including such things as, music, dance, fisticuffs, everything. But eventually, the fact that Nightcrawler, that Legion is kind of distracted, well, that gives Uranos the win. Though Banshee saves him. It kind of reminds me that, his survival is kind of necessary. So Legion does what he can to help, even going to speak with the members of the Great Ring. But yeah, and of course came Magneto's death. And Legion admits he kind of envies the fact that, Magneto had a hero's death. He is just going to, if he goes during all this, it's just going to be a footnote in the whole thing. List of mutants who died in this. But Legion passes. And that is where the issue ends. Which brings us to our next book, Wolverine number 25. Yeah, we got two stories in this. First off is the primary story, which is a Judgment Day tie-in. Wolverine and Solem were on their way to confront the Progenitor, with the Hellbride coming after them. Hellbride is tricked into killing her minions. And Solem and Wolverine are having a hell of a time making it to the Progenitor. Eventually, having gotten so turned around, they come upon the Hellbride freezing in the snow, and so they make Wolverine insists they make a fire, and he even gives her his coat so she doesn't freeze. Wolverine and Solem are fighting an ice golem of the Progenitor. The Hellbride also gets involved in the fight, and once it's destroyed, Solem makes a quick stab at it to give it its final poke. But the Hellbride decides to return to Hell, and Solem just asks to accompany her, and does, and so. But apparently the plan was to even invite Wolverine to come along, but But he doesn't. But no, he has things he has to take care of, and so he's got basically he has things he has to do, especially in the current situation, and because of this, he passes, but he doesn't want to. He declares he doesn't pass judgment. He doesn't want judgment. He doesn't deserve it. But he wants to fight the Progenitor. And that is where that story ends. Which brings us to our backup story, Bar Brawl. It's basically Wolverine reminiscing about the various bars he's been in. After having just laid out a bar full of people. Talking about a bar called the Dune in Egypt. Had a drink that was dosed up with cobra venom. Numbs all pain. And then, of course, talking about the bar that he would try to avoid ever getting drunk in, the Princess Bar. We also other things such as Cap and Wolverine fighting a bunch of looks like members of the Watchdogs in a bar. Blade and Wolverine fighting what appeared to be a bunch of vampires in a bar. And back in his Team X days, playing Russian roulette with Creed and with Sabre the Maverick in a bar, likely in Vietnam. Very Deer Hunter-esque, actually. Catching an old ally of his at a bar, and the two of them going on a mission together. We don't just see them leaving, but he finishes his drink at the bar he's in when the bartender pulls a shotgun on him, and guy says, "Oh, you think you're pretty tough, huh?" And well, Wolverine pops his claws, and that's that. Good 25th issue. I know that there's, I think they opted against legacy numbering, it seems, for this issue, but they've kind of been going back and forth on legacy numbering with Wolverine. But anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got X-Force number 32. Where we left off, Kraven was planning to take on the mutants because, well, someone told him that they appear to be at the top of the food chain. He's infiltrated Krakoa with the severed head of Deadpool. But he further was ruminating on his being a clone, and so he killed every other Kraven just to be the one true Kraven. But he goes to Arbor Magna and destroys all the eggs. While this is going on, Deadpool bites off his tongue, leaving it at the hatchery. Omega Red and Sage discover this. And Sage initially thinks it's an Eternals attack, but Omega Red points out this wasn't the Eternals. He explains that the eggs were hacked and stabbed. This wasn't done but at the hands of demigods. It was done by someone or something much more primal and crude. With Sage saying that Omega Red recognizes savagery because he knows savagery. But they find Deadpool's tongue and find out that Deadpool came through a gate. After Sage gets all this info, turns out that Omega Red was feeling a bit peckish, so he took advantage of the dead bodies and started chowing down on some of them. But Kraven kills a few other mutants, including Maggot and Icarus, Before killing Icarus, he asks who the most dangerous among them is, and Icarus says Wolverine. So, during all the battles going on, Deadpool, the spear with Deadpool's head on it is knocked out of the ground, which knocks Deadpool's head off of it, and he lands on in the veg. So him and Black Tom have a quick chat, and Deadpool explains that Kraven's there. Kraven, however, made it to the point and gets Beast into the Shadow Room with the intent of using it as a trap. Tom regrows, basically makes a floral body for connecting Deadpool's head, and some swords. When Omega Red shows up, well, it wasn't going after Kraven. Deadpool didn't want to go after Kraven. He wanted to fight Omega Red. But Wolverine returns, presumably from his trip to the North Pole, and goes into the Shadow Room to deal with. Goes to the point at the behest of Beast, and Kraven says, "Okay, where should we fight? Where should we have our battle?" And it's decided the Savage Land, where basically Beast will be their prey, but he's also they just have to avoid being killed by Kraven and Wolverine, but also by the creatures of the Shadow, the dinosaurs of the Shadowland, the Savage Land. That is where the issue ends. Interesting. I'm kind of hoping that this going to bring the end of this arc is going to bring Wolverine back to X-Force. I kind of like having him on the team, so I feel he works better on X-Force than any other team. So yeah. Moving on to our last week's moment, we've got Death to the Mutants number 3. Shit is beating fan, rather spectacularly at the moment. So, Star Fox, who's now Prime Eternal, is trying to just what to do now, because his attempt to appeal to the progenitor failed. And the best he's got is combining the force, Eternals, Avengers, X-Men, whoever, the Eternals with the Avengers, X-Men, whoever else shows up to fight the Celestial. But Zeros points out that they literally cannot do that, reminding Star Fox of the first principle. But Star Fox goes, open your mind. Seriously, open it. Let the X-Men have more than enough telepaths to allow us to bypass the first principle. Adding that everyone will have a date for the Apocalypse Ball. Yeah, that that all goes very sideways. Icarus confronts Cersei about why she failed. She made a mistake. Icarus is seemingly destroyed. As is one of the Hex. At Avengers Mansion, Cap is informed of the plan and asks Star Fox how to keep the world intact, and Nightcrawler. Phastos also has an idea to slow down the machine that is the machine that is Earth. Basically, it consists of giving the machine that is a hard reboot. No. thought this had those nifty handy dandy dramatis personae point pages, but maybe I was wrong. So yeah, okay, no. Sign of the Hex comes to Avengers Mansion. Exodus. Okay, well, this is the fight. Avengers Mansion is where the X-Men have pulled up their spare eggs and whatnot. So, but Exodus goes out to face. To face Sign, but Sign explains that one of their minds linked. He was Sign discovered that Exodus is is a knight from the 12th century, and so Sign asks if he likes the poet, if he likes a couple of poets of the time, quoting one, or beginning to quote one while Exodus finishes the quote. Apparently, Sign worries that his friend who likes poetry is dead, and so maybe Sign and Exodus could compose a work together, La Mort de Celestial. Inside the heart of the machine, Phastos attempts his reboot, and it works. Except for one small problem. The personality that it's developed over centuries, millennia, is gone. And so, yeah, that is where the issue ends. I think this is also I'm pretty sure this is also the final issue of the Death of the Mutants miniseries. So yeah, but anyway, that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.